The star of today's video is going to be this 1992 Geo Metro LSI convertible. This particular one has a 3-cylinder 1-liter G engine, G10, and automatic transmission. Let's get it in its normal position. That's more like it. We got the Geo Metro in its normal position with the hood up being worked on. If you know, you know. Anyway, what we got going on is the starter sounds like something's coming apart in it. It doesn't sound like it's not slipping on the gears on the flywheel. It's not slipping, but it sure don't sound good. So we're gonna get rid of it. Change out the starter before we chew up a flywheel gear or do something worse. Because we're going to be back there right by the positive terminal for the alternator. We're going to disconnect the battery there for safety because it's a good chance we're going to get something shorted across that alternator terminal. Let's just get some of this junk out of the way. This is the first video I'm filming with all new camera and audio equipment. Let me know in the description how that's sounding, how that's looking. As I'm filming, of course, I have no idea, so I'll just know myself when I get all done and start editing what I think about it. So just to get you accustomed to the G10 engine, it's a 3-cylinder, produces 54 horsepower. That's at the tip of my finger when I go away. That's the alternator terminal that's sticking way up, and we know we're going to get across that, so we're going to avoid that. But what we're looking for is, again, at the tip of my finger, watch when I let go, you'll see down in there, we have a starter. It is a little buried on the back of the engine. I think we're only 2 bolts, and of course the wire for the main power wire to the starter, and a activator wire. So I don't think we'll be too hard getting it out, but I probably won't be able to show you too much because it is on the back of the engine. So I'll do my best. Zoomed in there stupid close on the back of the starter there. And I'm going to see where I can reach the best. That's the main terminal. And then here's the small one. So let me see if that small one's a 10 mil. Because that's the wrench I have out from the battery. I believe it's bigger than 10 mil. It's kind of difficult to see what I'm doing. Sharp-eyed viewers probably already noticed that that wasn't the right wire. The first one I uncovered was, if you saw that, there is another wire going to that starter. It is not that other big terminal, and it may be just a push-on connection. Yep. So that one's just a spade lug. Got that one off. Now we just have to take the large power one off. I've got semi-filtered sunlight coming through there, I realize. Trying to do the work in the shade here. Not too hot today, but let's see. That would be tightening, that would be loosening. Good. Okay, so the trigger wire and the main power wire from the battery has been disconnected. Oh, and that's another reason you want to disconnect, because you have a power cable going right to that from your battery, not just the alternator. probably said that earlier. That wire is direct. Okay, now we should have just a couple bolts to hold the starter in. I'm going to get the new starter, see where those bolts are to familiarize myself with it. Got my starter here. I guess there was two different, if I remember right, because I ordered this like 6 months ago. It's been sitting in a box because this car is my winter car. I think there was two styles of these, but anyway, here's what it is. Here's the push-on connector, the trigger wire I'm calling that, and here is the power wire. So we'll just make sure that this one's tight, because that one is the lead that goes into the starter motor, and we wouldn't want that loose. Actually, I'm going to move that just a hair. I don't like how it's pinching hard there. Something like that would make me feel a little better. There we go. Yeah, now it's not trying to short out. It's only powered when you got power to the starter. And by the way, this is probably just like a drain for, I don't know if it would be for dust, or maybe if water did get in there, that would drain it out. Here's your gear. That flies forward, gets into the area of the flywheel gear, flex plate. And then when it starts, it goes back in its retracted position. I'll just read, they got some technical service bulletin here. Mitsubishi starters, Nippon Denso starters. So I'll just read, see if anything is important, and I'll let you know, but I doubt that'll become relevant. So just in case you got the same kind, it says the product we supply is of original equipment design and will replace any one of them. So that's all they're trying to tell you there. I thought it was a technical service bulletin that might have some importance. Technical support line. Okay, looks like everything's in order here. So we were going to look at where the bolts are. So where I see this solenoid, there's one tucked up right under it, and then one on the far side, not quite 180 from each other. Better look there. So I'll find one real close under here. That's probably going to be the hard one. This one probably is wide open under there. I've come to a wonderful revelation. These bolts are threaded. So it goes in, the bolts go in from the transmission side. And one of the bolts out of the two is already missing. But that doesn't give me my rattling noise in the starter. I think the starter's still bad because it doesn't seem to be loose. Because there is a hub, I guess you'd call, on here that's holding it well, even with just one bolt. But yeah, I think I'm missing a bolt. I'll show you what I'm talking about. So I'll get you down there with me. So there's one bolt underneath those two wires there. Oh, no. I'm not lined up right. It's over. You can't see it right. It's under those wires to the left. And the other bolt, gosh, this is hard to film. It's over here. Where am I? We're going to look for my finger, the end of my finger. Can't see it. Anyway, it looks like a hole. Yeah, there you go. There's no bolt in that. So I only have to take out one. This should be pleasant, as long as that other bolt isn't broken off in there and still holding something. If you think you can't see, imagine how I feel. It might be a 12. I thought that was a 13. just go alongside your heater tube there. Okay, I think the bolt's out. See if I can recover the bolt first. And mine looks like it had a, I don't know if they had a ground wire there or if that was just that zip tie. There's my bolt. Got that? Yeah. Is that the only one holding it? Oh, sure is. I'm gonna drop mine right on the ground. Oh, and there's a little plate here. I'm gonna have to figure out how that goes. Don't wipe the dirt off. You see the witness mark there in the oil? Let's remember that. I'm just dropping it on the ground because that's just the easiest thing to do. Now here's the starter we're taking out. So the good news is, here's what I was expecting this thing to be all wallered out, but it must be something inside that's making that terrible noise. This still moves and the teeth aren't torn up, so we should expect no problems with the flex plate. Everything else looks in order here. I don't see physically anything that's broken on it, but we might just take that apart for an autopsy later. We'll see. So let's review how this plate goes on. We could see a line, flat, line, and on this side we could see it was touching there and there on something. Well, let's look here. Okay, line. So we know already it's this way. Does it go this way or this way? Let's figure it out. It goes right like that. So the shallowest part towards the solenoid, the fatter part away. And then you could either pre-glue this on. I've seen people use grease to kind of stick things. You do you. We'll figure out how to get this thing on there. So I'm going to need another bolt when I finally get mine put back together. I got this Amazon. I'll leave a link in the description. It is a wonderful set. You can pull these out. It's got male and female, and they're metal, so they won't be stripping out on you. That's why I got what I did. I paid for that with my own money, but the Amazon affiliate link will bring you to Amazon, so you can get one just like it if you wish. M8 by 1.25, and I'll convert the length later to millimeters. Are you kidding me? This thing has millimeters on it? Who knew? 40 millimeters. Factory length. M8 by 1.25 by 40. Well, here's my initial plan of attack. Now, this could change. I reserve all rights. I'm going to push this hose down out of the way. That's for your heater core. Push that down out of the way and try to sneak the starter in there, and then just back it up towards myself. That's the initial plan. As I said, this could change if it starts hitting stuff, but I think there's room to not have to bring it up from the bottom. All right, let's give this an initial test fit here. I guess the word initial and test fit are kind of redundant. Okay, so I'm going to remember this shallow side to the top. Let me try to just get that starter down in. Looks like there's plenty of room here. Everything's rubber and it moves out of the way easily. Now, if you didn't have good pliable rubber hoses, you maybe want to be very careful with what you're doing. back to that. Okay. Try to put this on the snorkel, or whatever you want to call the front end of that thing. Alright, I kind of got it. Oh! I almost was going to say I kind of got it sitting up there until it didn't. Maybe I'll try putting this piece on the side I'm bolting to and come up to it. It does kind of want to sit there. Oh, that's good. Okay. That's a better plan, I think, than trying to go put it on the starter. Okay. Looks like we got a good start. Let me get my little light. I lost my sun. Oh, I'm going to come around from the back and see if I can grab that. The bolt is in the hole. It's through the plate, and it is temporarily holding that. That was amazing. Again, holding it from the back. We know this goes about in line with that tube. And I'm not even kidding, it's starting to thread. And here's something I just found. Even though it was tight, I don't know if you can see that play that I'm doing there. But I thought that hub would center it. That hub may have not been centering it. There is play. True, I don't have it bolted all the way up. But I wonder if that was my problem all along, is that bolt had come down and that whole starter had moved away from the ring gear. And that was my rattle. It sure didn't sound good, that's all I know. Now the new starter's already just about in, so we're not gonna split hairs, but that starter may still be good. Possible misdiagnosis on my part, but never a problem to have a brand new starter. Yeah, that leaves us play. And if it wasn't already in its perfect spot, it very well could have spun. Interesting. Off camera, I'm just gonna put the spade lug back on for the activation and rebolt the wire, the main wire from the battery, onto the starter. Yeah, they get crazy money for these at the hardware store lately. Incredible. I cleaned up that battery terminal a little, cleaned up the inside of that a little bit. And let's get this back tight. And verify the repair. That sounds much better. And that's how we make this 92 Geo Metro Wildwood certified. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, you like me watching me out here working on rusty old junk, lawnmowers, anything mechanical, electrical. If you want to give to the channel, you can get in the box right down below the video playing there. Super thanks if you have the means, and only if you have the means. If you want to drop me a few dollars, I would greatly appreciate that, and I'll put it right towards everything that goes on the channel. Thank you. So if you're like me, you're kind of curious as to what could have failed on this, what would have made it sound rattly. We did find that the bolt was missing, so it could have been not engaging. If it cammed on one, it would cam out of the way. Here would be the other gear. It could cam out of the way and make excessive play in the engagement between this gear and the main gear that it's spinning. But I'm more curious to see, does this sound weird out of the car? Is it just the starter, or was it because it was loose that it was making the noise I didn't like hearing? So what we're going to do, we're going to hook this up to main power. We're going to put it on the boost setting. And then when I give positive power to that terminal, we should have, it should engage. And what I'm hearing there sounds very normal. So it probably was just loose, although I am seeing one thing. That bushing, you see there's the silver shaft, that bushing is floating in and out. So that bushing could be bad. And when it gets the load of the ring gear on there, that makes the gravelly noise. Let me try to capture that one on film. I'm going to get you zoomed in real deep there. And you'll watch. You got the silver shaft, and to the left of that is the bushing that should be staying in this cone, but the bushing seems to be riding in and out. So I bet you that's the part that's hogged out. It's spinning inside of this, whereas it should be staying put, and the shaft should be rotating. So that very well could make it's not doing anything. Everything sounds really good right now. But when it gets under load, when you have that gear against something, it's gonna push in one direction or another as the torque goes from this little motor. It's gonna kick it one way or the other. So it very well could be that was what was making the noise. Also undetermined if it was this or being loose or a combination of both.